Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Second Guessing with Stressan. I'm your host, Garrett Williams, aka Texans Commenter, and this is an impromptu episode. I wanted to get in more to the Patriots game, and I figured that's what this will be. So it'll just be a deep dive. On Wednesday we talked at length. It was a lot of Steelers talk, the win there. But we didn't quite get into like the NFL pro tidbits and just the lineups and rosters and stuff like that. Plus, more audio clips have come out since then, so that'll be what this one is. It's the playoffs, so I'm hype. I wish I could go live every day, but I was able to bargain with the wife to let me go live tonight to try and do a deep dive with you guys. So I'll still try and interact, obviously, with comments, but it may be a little more just kind of going through all kind of stuff. But right off the top, shout out the people on IG. Shout out, I can't pronounce that, but someone says, yo, the long name. Boz and Toon says, yes, sir. Logan Johnson, Texans defense will win. Shout out my guy Zane with the salutes. And then someone says, do you think our team can adapt to the snow? I do. I actually think cold weather and snow is better for us than opposing teams. I know people think that, the Stroud snaps and fumbles is a terrible thing for us and we can't play in the cold now. It's one game we've played in the cold and that's never been an issue before. I would say it was just, a big part of that was Jake Andrews in the center. But let's see. Mac says, what's up, bro? How do you feel about CJ right now? I'm a little nervous, kind of want Money Mills in. No. I know some people are saying that, but nowhere even close to that. I discussed that at length on Wednesday, so I'm not going to entertain that topic. DLP, Gonzo still playing, stressing me. Yeah, that's crazy. He bounced back that quick from a concussion, but it is what it is. Shout out Loza says, let's go. Let's see. Lil Skelly says the schedule may. I feel that our defense will have 3+ sacks. I mean, we should. And then let's see. Drake May will get put to sleep Sunday. Ellis is my first name. Will Nico be available AFC Championship game? I don't know. He looked like he had 2 concussions in that game. I would hope so. Shout out Patriot Focus. We were trying to get together today. Didn't work out. He says, let's do a crossover tomorrow. Yeah, I gave you my number. Shoot me a text. I mean, if it's at night, I can probably do it. Obviously the games will be on, and I'll be busy most of the day. So, and then let's see. Filled Wolf says no Nico. I'm guessing Nico is out, so that happened today. So that was the big news today. And let's see, you got more on IG. Christopher Manale, Texans Super Bowl. Kanan Mead says, feeling a crazy game from Lassiter. Yep. And let's see, Lassiter's that dude, man. Shout out my guy BG. He says, is it Sunday yet? Damn it. I will say, last week was like, you had the Colts game, which was like whatever. And then we had to wait till Monday to play. And so it was like way too long. And now it's like, I feel like this is a perfect time. Now you're coming off Monday as far as like a fan and like content creation and consuming stuff, and then you had the fallout from the game. For me, in my perspective, it's too quick because I'm spamming the heck out of you guys with content, but like normally I have more time to kind of get all my stuff out. I like to, do everything. And then they dropped 2 mic'd up. She had the D'Amico Ryans mic'd up and then the Jalen Petrie mic'd up. I'm like, bro, like I'm freaking out. I got all this good content I want to share, like clips of stuff. And then, obviously like to analyze our press conferences as well as theirs. And I'm just like been trying to catch up and then been kind of busy this week with other stuff, obviously. But yeah, so Dot says, what's up, brother? What's good? JJ Sugar, good timing. Needed something on. Yes, sir. I got you, fam. Brandon Halam, Pats fans, why did you give up yards to the Raiders? Brandon, Texans fans, why did you lose to the Raiders? Yeah, there's a lot of Twitters, measuring contests back and forth. Should be a good game. End of the day, it is what it is. It's just how we do as fans on both sides. Mr. Optimistic, my guy, salute. Let's see. And then Witchy Boo says, welcome. BG, he won't be in the game long. Him returning that quick makes him that much vulnerable to getting concussed again. I don't know about that. I mean, like, I know the way, I don't know about the science behind it, but as far as like the concussion protocol goes, once you're cleared, and supposedly they clear you when you're, not susceptible to an increased risk. It's like the same as if you never had one, supposedly. I don't know. But, I kind of do believe there is a concussion protocol and then it's for player safety, but I would feel like it gets however that process works. I know we went through with Stroud, but you would think with the playoffs, it kind of gets, expedited and you turn a blind eye. Like Josh Allen, it felt like he might have had one. Woody got checked in and out. Nico, I felt like he got one early, let it go, it seems like, and then he came back, felt like he was playing with one. So who knows, but we'll see. I mean, Gonzo obviously is a great player. That's a massive piece. If he was out, he basically changes their defense from the standpoint of he allows them to play man a lot more than if he wasn't in there. So someone is asking me my name. My name is Garrett. JJ Sugar, did Aziz not play him last year? I can't remember. I'm not sure you're saying play who last year. Yeah, this guy's getting weird right here. I'm gonna stop replying to you. Nope, Neville Hewitt is what he said. Okay, all right. And then Field Wolf, don't stop the content, bro. Love all the vids. Been a fan of yours since way back. Yeah, I appreciate that. So, like, as much as I post, I could post a lot more. So it's like I try to like hold it back, but like what I tell myself is like, all right, as long as I'm posting stuff, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, as long as it's getting interaction, I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, so I am, conscious of the fact of like I probably already am like oversaturating and giving too much, but like to me, everything I post, I try and be conscientious of like, is this something people haven't seen? Is it new and fresh? And then like, if I see someone else post something first, obviously besides like national media, I'll kind of I'll try and just share theirs. Because I understand it can get inundated, but I mean, I feel like the appetite for Texan stuff as it should be is at a high demand right now. So, and then we got, let's see, Brandon says the Jags crash outs this week have been great. Yeah, they went from, feeling good about Stroud playing bad to realizing like, shit, they're playing again. Raphael said, I'm curious how their pass protocol, concussion protocol is cool. He turned over. Bakari, Texans have an edge due to their experience in this game. Yeah, that's a point I was making on Twitter, and I believe it made in the last show. But like, it's blowing my mind that like this point is being neglected. Like, this is the Texans' 6th playoff game in 3 years, and we're a young team. Like that is a ton of experience. As far as the AFC, no one besides the Bills have more playoff experience than us. I think we're probably the 2nd or 3rd most experienced team left. I mean, maybe the Niners might be ahead of us, but we have more in the past 3 years. I feel like the Rams might have missed a year, but I mean, as far as like with our team, like almost 80% of it has been together for the past 3 years. And then you throw in the fact that you got a lot of experienced coaches on staff. Cole Popovich was with the Patriots. Nick Caley was with the Patriots when they kind of had their playoff and their runs. And then you have Nick Caserio. He's the GM, but he's involved. You have Jerry Shaplinsky, who is our advisor. Like he's basically kind of like a senior offensive coordinator is in there. Trent Brown has experience. So, I mean, we have a handful of players we've added too that have had a lot of playoff experience too. So we're on the flip side. Like, I feel like people are looking at Texans Patriots as Texans Patriots in 2018. Like that's not what's it's. I know we can't help it, but it's like, oh, it's the Patriots. The Patriots are beasts in the playoffs, and yes, they've been a great team all year, and they beat the Chargers. But like, it just feels like it's being projected, like and the Texans have never made it to the divisional round, which is true, but that has no bearing on this game, this team, this year, this iteration. So I can't help but feel like on both sides, it's like people are thinking this is the Patriots of old, and like just because your brain is used to it, like they're dominant. And then the Texans are the Texans of old, the playoffs, and it's the Bill O'Brien, and they barely get in, barely win the division, and beat a bad team, and then lose in the next round. And then they're comparing the last 2 years, which were better than those years, obviously. But we played Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, bro. Like, yes, Drake May is MVP candidate, but like, dude, he's only played X amount of games. Like, and yes, he won his first playoff game, but like, if you watch the game, dude, like Stroud's getting all this flack and heat. Like, he played the same game. He played the same game, and it's not even getting talked about. And that's against the Chargers defense. Like, you're about to play the Texans defense. And I guess you can make the case potentially about Steelers versus Patriots defense, but the difference between the Steelers defense and Patriots defense is much more narrow than the Chargers defense and the Texans defense. So just a lot there on that. But yeah, so I'll kind of get into, I don't know how long I'll go today, maybe an hour. Someone asked me if I've ever been on the hub. Love the hub, dude. You're talking about Grubhub, I believe, is what he's talking about. It's pretty funny. And then JJ Sugar, got to check out the arenas predictions for this game. Gonna have to update that to lead post where he was big time hating saying we popped. Okay, yeah, I will definitely check that out. Some of our biggest haters. So Peyton, two things. Screw Kyle Tucker. Yep. MLB is ridiculous. Dodgers have no souls. And he says, two, I'm more nervous for this week than I was last week. I oddly am the same, if not slightly less. And that's not, I mean, I think it'll be a good, close game, but a lot of stuff I just mentioned as far as playoff experience and stuff like that. So kind of goes into that. Yes, CJ is from Rancho Cucamonga. Steve Pinson on Facebook. We love your content. You always highlight things that fans and haters miss. LOL. I always feel smart when I share your videos, and I've learned so much about ball. LOL. I appreciate that, Steve. That means a lot. So, I did play football in college. I didn't, rack up the stats, but so I know the game. I'm still around it in different capacities. And, obviously I spend a lot of time looking, I think, knowing the X's and O's, but then also, I think you can get a lot from dissecting interviews. I've watched every second of every interview of every Texans player for like my whole life, but as far as this iteration of the Texans, you pick up on a lot, dude. Nosh says, salute, my guy. And Boston's very own says, Pat's going to smoke y'all. All right, cool, man. And let's see. Brandon says, Texans remember the Chiefs game in the divisional round and want to win it. And instead of facing the Chiefs for revenge, they're facing a softer Patriots team. Yeah, and we're like the same team pretty much. And then the guy that just chirped kind of backpedals slightly. He says, y'all are a good team, though, but Pat's going to go crazy. All right. Okay. We'll see, buddy. Eddie Paulson, I heard it's going to snow. Yep. Mr. Optimistic, been struggling to find my nervous optimism this week. I had more nerves about the Steelers game due to some reason. I'm sure the anxiety will hit Sunday. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, honestly. But, I think I got overly anxious for the Steelers game because we sat and watched every game, and we watched all these teams that we thought should be blowing teams out, have close games. And then just Monday, the wait. It was just, you had nothing to do all day but sit there and think like, they should win. What if they lose? What if you couldn't help it? But like, I think this time we'll be preoccupied. Sunday up until 2 will be long, but Saturday, once those games hit, you'll be good. You'll be chilling. But Sunday morning, I'm gonna go to church. That'll help too. I kind of like the 2 p.m. start, but we'll see how it goes. So, and let's see. I'll kind of get to a couple more comments. I enjoy the interaction. I appreciate all you guys. As always, follow me at Texans Commenter or at Houston Stressans on all platforms. Website, HoustonStressans.com. We got merch, obviously. Wearing the Anderson, the Terminator tee right now. Got my Houston versus everybody hat on. My flag's up on the store now too. But I got a newsletter. I've been not sending newsletters. I got quite a few people subscribe to it, but free newsletter. Feel free to subscribe. Haven't been writing articles for a while. It's just, I love doing it, but it's just so time consuming. And I feel like people love the content, videos, and stuff like that more than, deep dive articles. But who knows, maybe I'll find a way to write one before this game. But I like to do like the analysis before the game, like giving my thoughts and sharing clips to support it. But I just been doing like long form tweets the day of to kind of, and I kind of do it for me and my ego, honestly, because I want to act like I know ball. Hey, I think it's going to happen. Oh, Seep told you guys, selfishly, that's probably the biggest reason why I do it. But Henry Jack, if Texans win the Super Bowl for the first time, I will definitely be excited. I sure hope you would, Henry, because I'm going to be super excited. And that's what you're seeing now, too, like the awareness of the, players and coaches of what this means to the city. A lot of these guys have grown close to the city. Shout out Bug on IG, BLESSAN. Well, yeah, so you're seeing that they know the weight of this. Not only obviously they want to go all the way, but like even just getting to the AFC Championship is a big deal, and they're aware of it. And I can see as someone who's very in tune with the fan base, like things are ratcheting up. Like it's one game we've won in the playoffs, but you can see like after that game, it's like, whew. And like a lot of people that I've seen, I talk to everybody. If you're, we all fan different, but you can kind of see some of the people that are like negative and have a hard time trusting the Texans and be like, oh, I'm a believer now. And so, and then on the other part of that too, just out in public, doing errands or whatever and wearing stuff and people talking, it's like you feel like there's more buzz and people that might not really be crazy fans like most of us kind of getting into it. So like that's what I love, because everything that I do as like a Texans content creator is if I had like a mission statement, my mission statement is to make it easier to be a Texans fan. And like, I think we have a great team. I love football. And now especially with D'Amico and like CJ and Will and Aziz and every guy in this team, like Jalen Petrie, Bullock, like everybody, they're all just great guys too. It's like, so that's something I gathered too, watching all these things. Like I feel like I know these people because I got a good read on their personality and watch all these things. But I mean, it's just a special team, like regardless of how things go. And so I feel like they're owed that. They obviously have to earn it, but and Houston deserves this, man. And so I know a lot of people are still, emotionally hedging. You don't want to, every time they feel like they, get in, they get burned. And so that's a big part of it. There is the element too of like Houston's just a melting pot. We're so diverse. We got people from all over the country, the world really. So like they can still root for this team, that team. I'm seeing people that like, we didn't have football when you grew up here. So then you just picked a team. So that's part of it too. And then you kind of come off of it. But like, this is huge as far as like this fan base is here now. But like, if we have a good run, like you're going to gain all these people between all those factors I just said. And they deserve it. We deserve it. The city of Houston deserves it. And that's kind of why we see like in the media, we're always feeling slighted, is because we don't have as much following and love and respect. And so I'm saying like a whole bunch here, but like that is what they're playing for. Like that's what the players are playing for. And they're aware of that. Like they're playing for us and for all that stuff I just said, for us having our moment and getting the respect and getting to enjoy. Like we deserve this stuff. But yeah, so it's dope, man. Hopefully they continue, but yeah, May is gonna suck, says Maserati. I don't feel suck, but it'll be tough. Not to none. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Hopefully, Ben McDaniel's got our guys sharp without Nico. Ben McDaniel's is Josh McDaniel's brother. Did you guys know that? A lot of ties too. So Casario, Shaplinsky, Cole Popovich, Ben McDaniel's, all were in New England. Who else you got off the top of my head? We got Trent Brown, City Sal, if he's still on the roster. Who are some other Patriots on our team? There's plenty of Patriots on our team, the whole Patriots South thing, obviously Casario. And then over on their end, Vrabel used to coach for the Texans. He used to coach for the Titans. We used to go against him. Him and D'Amico, both not only former players, but former linebackers. And very similar with like their aggressive mindset, but different in their leadership styles. D'Amico is more, even keel. Vrabel's more in your face. And they're both successful in how they do things. And so, yeah, I appreciate all the comments. Ray Anthony, Delon on Facebook, let them know. What else we got? Let's see. JJ says Pat's getting this work and they just don't know it yet. Rich Boy J says I found it so hard to be productive this week. Yeah, dude. It's going to be like this all the way. And then someone mentioned the Rockets game too. Like, I love the Rockets. I love basketball. I love the Astros. I love baseball. But like, I'm locked the hell in on football, bro. Like, I haven't watched any Rockets because I'm just looking at Texan stuff, grinding content, like researching the opponent. Like, I'm sorry, dude. It's football season. Like, I'll get to the Rockets later. I'm sorry, Rockets. Hopefully it's later rather than sooner. But like, I haven't even been tapping in. And it's kind of been nice to see them lose. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, we're good. I got the Texans right now. I'm laser focused on football. But yeah, so let's see. Texans Swarm. Was there a single season second last game where you thought they would lose? No, I didn't think they would ever lose that game. Abdul Afghani, nervous, but team looks real locked in. Yeah, I mean, they're confident. So that's a good point too. Watching these pressers, like, I mean, that, and then that's goes back to my point about experience. Like, this is the third year in a row this same team has been here, dude. Like, now it's like they know what it takes, from not having done it. Like, so it's not like, whereas if you're the Patriots, they're like us in the first year. Like, you're just happy to be here. I mean, obviously they're gonna play hard, but like, you don't know it in the moment. But like, it's just different, the experience, dude, and no one's talking about it. So, but yeah, comments are popping off. I'm sorry I can't get to all of them. I will. I appreciate all of them. You guys are the best, man. There's a whole bunch. Tay, I've got faith in this team. Like many other fans, are blind to the fact the offense is weak and we never know what we're going to get. Someone says 10-sack game. Joshua, it's amazing how people forget how Riley Leonard shredded the Texans in his first start and actually think drink. This is just rage bait. You don't even like. Okay, look at some context first and come back, buddy. Steve, CJ Legacy game uploading. I mean, it could be a good bounce back game. Shout out D Hammy, my guy, the Bears. My buddy's in here, Bears fan. They're in the playoffs too. So let's see. Barnhill says Patriots defense is average at best. Their offense is pretty good. Yeah. So let's dive into it. I mean, we'll kind of go through like we normally do, and I can show you guys, kind of how my brain works when I analyze matchups or whatever. It's just a kind of, I think we all kind of have our own little ways of doing things, but let's see here. Share screen, and I'm going to go. I normally just start with ESPN. I don't know why. I start on ESPN, and I go to the opposing team, and I look at their schedule. Who have they played? They're 14-3. And I try to like analyze, okay, like strength of schedule, like, how are they coming into the game, all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, just like surface level, looking at it coming into the game. Obviously, they beat the Chargers. So let's kind of dissect the Chargers game a little bit, Let's go to that. Share this tab instead. And we're on the Chargers game. And I like to start on, when I go to this section, by the box score here. First down, 17-19, Chargers of Patriots. Third down, oh my God, the Chargers were 1 of 10 on third down. That is disgusting. And the Patriots were 4 of 11. It's better, but it's not excellent. Chargers were also 1 of 3 on fourth down. Pats 1 of 1. So, Herbert obviously had a bad game, but total yards, 207 for the Chargers, 381 for the Patriots. And you go to passing, 120 for the Chargers, 235 for the Pats. Rushing, 87 for Chargers, 146 for Pats. Red zone, Chargers 0 for 2. They went for that freaking 4th and goal after a pick inside the 10 by May. 0-3 by the Patriots, so good red zone D by both. Penalties, whatever. Pats had 5 minutes more on time of possession. So just go into box score. Herbert had a terrible game. He was 19 of 31, 159, got sacked 6 times. And, a lot of people are going to say he needed help. And if you watch the game, like 3 or 4 of those sacks were in garbage time. And plenty of the sacks, including some of the late ones, were on him. He just is going for the home run, not getting rid of the ball. Some of them weren't on him, but I mean, he definitely put a lot of that on himself. Had a 74.5 rating. Drake May, to me, had a very similar game as CJ Stroud did. Had some turnovers, bad plays, but still was effective passing the ball. But, he gets the good side highlighted and the bad side, downplayed. On the flip side, CJ, bad side highlighted, good side negated. And I think the biggest factor in all of that is, one, for some reason, CJ Stroud is just a polarizing figure. I guess, his podcast media tour, maybe people don't like him because of that, and the Caleb Williams thing, maybe. But really, I think it just comes down to expectations. He's in year 3. He came out rookie of the year, and everyone, thinks, whatever. So I think that's a big part. Drake May is still, this is basically his rookie year, essentially, played like half of his rookie year. So anyway, 17 of 29, 268, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 5 sacks against the Chargers D-line that had 0 sacks against the Texans. So that's something to think about. And, this is a pretty good comp. Like, we played the Chargers just a couple weeks ago when they were at full strength in essentially a playoff game. They were playing for the division, and we were playing for the playoffs. And then this is a playoff game here. So Herbert also had a bad game against us. And so just looking at it from that lens, when you look at the Patriots offense, Drake May also had 10 for 66. Obviously, his legs will be a concern in this game. And just real quick, my general thoughts on Drake May. I've always been super high on Drake May. I said he's going to be the best quarterback in that draft before the draft started. I think I think Caleb Williams has been better than what I thought, and he's been pretty damn good. But I do think that Drake May is a better quarterback, in my opinion. Just, prototypical pocket passer, big, stand in the pocket, cerebral, read the defense, and has the mobility to go out. But I think he is also one of the best deep throwers of the ball outside the numbers, like the verticals that he throws some absolute strikes. So that'll be a concern for the Texans. I mean, we obviously have great man coverage and coverage on the outside as well. We're one of the best teams there, but you can't be caught sleeping because he can throw it right in a bucket. You can have pretty good coverage and still complete it. But obviously his legs too. Like, my immediate thought on that is, okay, that's a threat. That's been something that's killed us in the past, but this year's been pretty good. And then you look at quarterbacks that we've played this year with similar kind of skill sets: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, honestly, pretty good comp too. In that regard, big pocket passer who can scramble. We held all those guys in check rushing this year. And for all three of those games, for most of the game plan was to run cover one with the high safety, and then over the middle having a robber or a spy to keep the quarterback in check. And not every team can do that because they don't have the corners, Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter, or safeties, Kalen Bullock, and now Jalen Reed, to do that, or Jalen Petrie down in the nickel to do that as well either. So, and then, you may get beat here and there, but you hope the pass rush gets home in time. And so another factor with containing the rush by Drake May is gap integrity, which is something we struggled in the past couple years, but this year's been really good. So, I mean, that just comes down to when you're rushing the quarterback with your front four up front with the cover one behind it, not getting overzealous and trying to be Superman and, do some crazy spin move and vacate your gap. Will and Daniil, they set the edge, they stay there. Sheldon, Tommy Togiai, they've been good. And Sheldon Rankins, that's where the chemistry with Will Anderson Jr. comes into play. They know how each other rush. So, if Will decides to do some move here, Sheldon knows it. So he knows to replace him and to get his gap and vice versa. So that's a big factor there too. And honestly, you want him to run the ball and you want to limit those runs, because if that's the only offense you're going to get, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's what happened with Josh Allen. And Josh too, he would scramble, want to start to run, see Aziz right there spying him, and then freak out and then run around. And so I don't know if Drake May is quite as, Josh Allen in the sense that he tries to be Superman. I don't think he is. But Josh Allen looked bad. Like, he was just running around and guys couldn't. Normally he does that and extends the play, and guys get open. But he was running around backwards and it made him look bad. So, yeah, I mean, that'll be the game plan, I think. But what's funny too is, like, you talk about the Texans defense and how good they are and how crazy it is how good they are. Basically about how they just line it up. They run quarters, cover four pretty much all the time. But when they play mobile quarterbacks like this, they just run cover one and they mix in other stuff. But, like, blitz here and there on third downs, run some sim pressure. So, but basically it's been impressive how they just show you what they're going to do and do it. And if they do disguise, it's real subtle. It's nothing crazy. And so we're all thinking, okay, D'Amico's probably saving some for the playoffs. And so, I said in the Steelers game, people were like, oh, well, he'll probably start doing stuff in the Steelers game. And I was like, no, like, he shouldn't. This should be a vanilla game because of Rodgers. He'll kill you in man, blitz looks. So literally drop back in coverage and force him to hit the checkdowns, which is what we did because he wasn't mobile. But now I think this is a game where you run a lot of cover one looks with the spy, but then you probably see a lot of D'Amico Ryans, game plan as far as you got a young core, but Drake May is young, guys. Like, he's basically a year and a half in, if that, starting. And, he's only seen so many types of defenses and schemes. I think this is a game where we saw in the playoffs last year at the Chargers, D'Amico did a bunch of exotic stuff. And against other games against young quarterbacks, I think D'Amico Ryans brings out a bunch of exotic stuff, especially on third and longs. and runs, a bunch of simulated pressures, dropping edges, showing a blitz with the mic, dropping them, putting Will Anderson Jr. at spinner over center. I think this is the game where he empties the clip and puts and you don't overdo it, but he's probably got a bag of stuff that they can dip into. Maybe you try initially coming out vanilla and see if he can pick it apart, and then if he does, you lean on it. But I think this game he can really open it up. And then I suspect a lot of man, so that means that they would have to run a lot of picks and crossers and mesh routes and stuff like that. And it doesn't mean it always works. So we'll get into rosters here in a second, but just finishing on that game, I mean, they had 146 yards rushing, but 66 were from Drake May. Keep him to 30, 40 yards, that's a win. And then if that's most of their offense, it depends on how those yards are made. But then Ramondre Stevenson, 10 for 53, 5.3. Travion Henderson, who's been, awesome, 9 for 27 for 3.0 yards per carry. So, I mean, he didn't have a great game, but it limited carries. And then, Ramondre Stevenson had 3 for 75 as far as receptions and yards catching. Kayshon Boutte was 4 for 66. And then after that, it's pretty much nothing. Hunter Henry, 3 for 64. Efton Chisholm, 1 for 20. Stephon Diggs, obviously on the Texans last year. Big fan of his. A lot of respect for him, 2 for 16. But yeah, Kyle Williams, I was a big fan of his. One of the Texans to draft him, 1 for 7. He's a speedy burner guy, but I don't think that they have like a true X receiver. I'm not sure who plays that for them, meaning like the big, big bodied field stretcher in the prototypical sense. Kyle Williams is more of like that Tank Dell type. I believe Diggs is back to playing outside this year, so maybe he kind of plays that X role, but he's undersized, even though he's like a Z receiver. And then maybe Boutte. I think Boutte's the slot for them, and Pop Douglas as well. But we can look at PFF to Boutte is the X. Okay. So yeah, I'll have to look at PFF for the splits, but like what are his measurables? Let's see. If Boutte is the X, he is he's 5'11", 190. That's like rare. I mean, Tyreek Hill plays the X position, but he's like, we got Kamari Lassiter to Derek Stingley, who can shadow if need be. But yeah, on the flip side, the Chargers, Herbert also ran 10 for 57 against them. So both of this game was both quarterbacks. And then, they pretty much got shut down elsewhere. They also didn't have Mario at Hampton. He played 1 snap, came out. Kamani Vidal, who's been playing well, got held in check, 11 for 31. So, let's go over to PFF, and we'll look at PFF more so for, the lineups like we normally do. So we'll go back to the Patriots, and now we'll see if we can dive into their schedule a little bit. So, I think they've had 2 wins against teams with winning records, I believe. I may be wrong. But they've had, let's just go to, let me see. Let me go to ESPN on the other tab, NFL. If we go to standings, and I'll share this tab instead, playoff. And we go to the Patriots had a 0.391 strength of schedule and a 0.370 strength of victory in the regular season. And the Texans had a 0.522 strength of schedule, and they had a 0.441 strength of victory. That is a massive difference in both categories. Like, it doesn't matter, but it matters. I mean, come on, dude. And so we'll come back here to the Patriots schedule now that we kind of laid out that and kind of dive into it. I mean, they beat the Chargers, so that was a good win. We'll start from week 1, which you don't wait too much early on, but lost to the Raiders week 1 at home. And let me see too if I can look at home and away records. So I'm gonna go to this tab real quick. Patriots are 6-3 at home, 8-0 on the road, and that doesn't include the 1 win at home. So that's a pretty crazy deal. I thought they might have been other way around. So not necessarily like elite at home, which I don't know if that is I think opponents matter more so on that. But and then they beat the Dolphins week 2 by 6. Lost to the Steelers week 3 by 7 at home, and then beat up on the Panthers, and then Beat the Bills by 3 on the road, good win. Beat the Saints. I mean, Saints, they played pretty good down the stretch, but I don't even know in this Saints game if this was Tyler Shuck playing or not. It was against Spencer Rattler. So, I mean, they played pretty well down the stretch, but they didn't even play Tyler Shuck. Took care of business on the Titans. That's a good win. I mean, we can't really say we played the Titans twice, and let's see, Browns. They beat the Browns pretty good, 32-13. And so, most of the bad teams they played, they won by multiple scores, but they had a couple close ones. Falcons won by 1 point. Falcons missed an extra point to tie it late in the fourth quarter. Beat the Bucks by 5 later in the year. We obviously lost to the Bucks. Bucks kind of went on a slide, but they won that game 28-23. Then they beat the Jets, took care of business, multiple scores there. And then they beat the Bengals, which I believe was with they beat Joe Flacco and they beat Joe Flacco with the Bengals 26-20. And then they beat the Giants, took care of business. So they have a lot of wins against bad teams. A lot of them taking care of business, and 3 to 4 one-score games, which we've had our fair share too. And then lost to the Bills later in the year. They had a big lead and the Bills came back. And then they beat the Ravens. That was a game I felt like they should have lost. It was on primetime, but they won. Also, Ravens aren't nearly as good as what we think. And then they won 28-24. And then they beat up on the Jets 42-10. And then beat up on the Dolphins 38-10 against Sam Ellinger. So I think the Jets game, that might have been Tyrod Taylor playing for him. Let's see who was playing in that game. No, they beat Brady Cook and Austin McNamara. So, but yeah, I mean, we can go back and forth on both sides. But I mean, you're lying if you're saying that and you don't have to be a hater or having an agenda, but like the Texans had a much tougher schedule and the Patriots had an easy schedule. Like that's facts. Like we don't have to. I mean, you don't have to say that's going to dictate things, but like you can acknowledge that. But yeah, so over on PFF, they have their power rankings for what it's worth. Texans number 4, Patriots 6th. Defense were number 1, they're number 8. Power rank on offense were 17, they're number 3. Strength of schedule played were 18, they're 32nd. This is for PFF's metrics. But yeah, so they both run the ball 40%, pass 59%. Offenses are probably pretty similar. Josh McDaniels, Nick Caley. And so you wonder too with that element too, like both sides have been asked about, the carryover, Caley, McDaniels, whatever. And both sides are downplaying it, talking about execution. But I mean, who knows if there's some angles in there where it can benefit one or the other. So for PFF grades, which are whatever, especially for quarterbacks, they have Stroud 71.9, Drake May 89.6, passer rating when clean 107 for Stroud, 119 for May. When under pressure, 60 for Stroud, 93 for May. Big time throw percentage, 3.29 for Stroud, 3.99 for May. Turnover worthy play, 3.11 for Stroud, 2.81 for May. So I don't know if that includes playoffs. I feel like Stroud was in the 2s and that probably jumped up. But so yeah, May is doing a pretty good job taking care of the ball too. I guess it's better than what I thought it would be. Power rating, I don't know how that works, but Stroud 3.5, May 5.5. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but the real reason I like to go in here is for the lineups. Let's see here. Great video, very good presentation. I appreciate that. If Patriots had a 3rd place schedule in their division, says Tay. Appreciate the comments. Saints top 10D, says Josh. Browns top 10D. Bills top 10D. Bills are not a top 10D, dude. Bills running defense is terrible. Chargers, I'll give you that. Browns, okay, but their team is terrible. Like the Browns don't have, I mean, you have a good defense, but the Browns are not good, bro. And Saints, yeah, you played Spencer Rattler, dude. So this guy's in here going back. Strength of schedule don't mean dick. I mean, you sound very defensive. I got about 20 comments from this Patriots fan, acting like that doesn't matter. So the Bills got beat by Davis Mills. They got wrecked by him, dude. I mean, their run defense is fucking terrible. They're a terrible run defense goes a long way, and it depends on matchups. But anyways, we're looking at Patriots offense versus the Texans defense with 11 personnel. So it looks like, let's see. So they got Diggs as the X here. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but Diggs, again, PFF grades, take him for how you want. They got him at 85.2. Drake May, 89.6 quarterback. Ramondre Stevenson is a starter, having a pretty good year according to PFF at 75.5. And then Hunter Henry at tight end, pretty good year at 76. And then over at the Z position would be Keyshawn Butte with a 71.4, so not bad. And then Pop Douglas in the slot, 76. And then obviously left tackle, the rookie Will Campbell having a pretty good year. Didn't have his best game last game, but is poised to come back. Him and Will have played against each other in Alabama, which, you can't really take too much from that. Alabama versus LSU. They got another rookie. So their left side of their line is two rookies, Jared Wilson, Georgia guard, who I kind of like coming out. But, as far as the grades go, 50.3, not the best. Their center, Garrett Bradbury. He is a 59, so not amazing, but not terrible, according to PFF. Mike Onwenu, I probably butchered that pronunciation. Playing pretty well according to the grade, 78. And then at right tackle, Morgan Moses. He is a veteran. He's been around since 2014, 74.3. So looking at that, let's change it to a different personnel. We'll go to 21 personnel with two running backs, which would be their fullback is Jack Westover. Not graded very well. And then that would be Diggs and Booty. And then Henry would be in there. And let's see if we go to 12 personnel, two tight ends. You're looking at Austin Hooper as the backup tight end would come in. And let me see if I can just go to the Patriots. Let me open this real quick. Go to their roster because obviously there's a lot of names on there that aren't starters that would get in. They got Tommy DeVito on their thing. That's hilarious. The Tommy DeVito, let's see here. Yeah, Sting at 69 is insane. That is true. And then let's see. Joshua Dobbs is there too. Jeremiah Webb. So Efton Chisholm is a guy that'll get in there. Let me just go to – maybe I should just go to NFL, and I'll go to premium stats, and we'll go to – let's look at the Patriots as far as their grades. Overall, for PFF grades for a team, they're fourth at 92.2 on the year. Texans are fifth at 90.5. And then we'll go to their offense and just look at snap counts, and we'll filter it by that. So all the O linemen there. Matt Collins, is Matt Collins out for the year? Let's see. Matt Collins. Is Matt Collins? Am I tripping? Is Matt Collins hurt? He got hurt, right? Matt Collins late in the year. He's an interesting guy. Awesome personality. He had an abdominal injury, which he's on IR. That's a bummer for them. Keyshawn Booty. So Kyle Williams, obviously, he's probably gotten more snaps, I would imagine, post Matt Collins injury. Ben Brown, their guard, looks like he's came in probably when some injuries happened. Vidarian Lowe is a tackle. He's had 317 snaps, maybe blowouts, injuries. Pop Douglas only 309 snaps. So as far as the receivers, maybe Pop Douglas is starting to get more snaps post. If there's a Pats fan in there, so what'd y'all do whenever Matt Collins got hurt? Which receiver stepped in more? Let's see here. Antonio Gibson is down the roster down there. Maybe, I don't know. I think that covers most of it. So, and I'll do this for defense, and we'll go back over here first real quick. Let's see. Defense. Share this tab instead. We'll go to, all right. And so we have, this will be the nickel defense matching up with 11 personnel, which the Texans run quite a bit. For the Patriots, you obviously got Christian Gonzalez, who's back. According to PFF, 67.9 grade. That's surprising, knowing how good of a player he is. So according to them, it's not, his best year, but he's playing pretty well. Marcus Jones is a very good nickel. out of U of H. And, he's, I know Casario and all them have a lot of respect for him and call him one of the best, punt returners as well. So that's noteworthy. He's got some good speed. And, Christian Kirk had a career day, or not a career day, but the best, day receiving in Texans playoff history as far as yards. And he did it all pretty much in man coverage, all against the same nickel corner. So that'll be a matchup to watch. Can Kirk get that same success against this guy as opposed to, I forget the guy's name on the Steelers. And on the other end, they got their other corner is, I don't want to say his first name and be wrong, but this shit's lagging. Carlton Davis. Yeah. So I feel like Carlton Davis, is he the guy that was on the Bucks? Let's see. I'm gonna go to his season stats. Pull this up. Share his tab instead. Yeah, he was on the Bucks. And then last year he was on the Lions. So I think he's a decent player, but I mean that's not an all-world corner. So maybe some potential there against Carlton Davis. We'll go back to the bummer. Nico's not in. What am I doing? Share this tab instead right here. Okay. And then just finishing off secondary, you got Craig Woodson. He is a rookie out of Cal. And so you got a rookie safety with the 66th grade. And then you got Jalen Hawkins. He's also out of Cal, but drafted in 2020 with a really good grade, 82.5. And then you got as the linebacker, I'm not sure, it doesn't say whether that's Mike or Will, but Robert Spillane with the 75.8, which is a pretty good grade. I mean, I don't really know a bunch about him. I feel like he was maybe on, let me see. Was he on the Raiders? Let me look up in premium stats his deal for his career. Yes, he was on the Raiders. I know ball. So I think he's always been a pretty solid linebacker. Let's see here. Let me X out some of these windows. They're piling up on me. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Okay. And so Robert Spillane. And then we have Christian Ellis. And I'll get to the comments too. If y'all have like some notes on stuff that I'm missing, we can go to that and see, where I'm lacking. So the Patriots fan says that Spillane is a very good tackler, but he was a 75.8. Christian Ellis is 62.3 out of Idaho. Cool. I like that's FCS school. I'm not sure if they're still FCS or not, but yeah, so I don't know much about him. Harold Landry is questionable. I don't know if he'll play or not. But obviously he's one of the more noticeable names on their team as an edge rusher, having a pretty decent year, 70.4 grade. And then Milton Williams, obviously money Milton Williams, he was the big name coming out of the Super Bowl last year, big free agent. He's going to be a force. But as far as PFF and their grades, again, not the end all be all. It's not always, matches up with what we see or whatever, but defensive grade 67, but the run defense, which is important to note, 50.9, pass rush grade 73. And so, maybe, obviously he's a great pass rusher, but maybe there's some room there in the run game. Christian Barmore, big name, former second round pick out of Alabama a couple years back. As far as the grading goes, 53, run defense 30.7, pass rush 69. Nice. And then on the other edge, they got Clavon. I've heard his name. I know the guy, but I'm going to mispronounce his name. Clavon Chason. Probably butchered that. 60, run grade 49, pass grade 62. Let's look at the run grade for Landry. Yeah, he is a run grade 61. So, I mean, as far as the grades for the run defense, and let's go to the linebackers. Spillane, run defense 87. Yep, so that checks out with the comment from the Patriots fan. And then Ellis, 60.3. So I got the last name right. All right, appreciate that. Chase on. And then we'll go to base. And so, the Patriots are a 3-4 defense, so out of base. And, I kind of had this hunch. I don't know if I said it on here. I feel like I was going to write an article and I never got it out there, but I feel like the Texans rush offense matches up well against 3-4 defenses. And because we are an inside running team, it's just the nature of it. Basically, a nose tackle, basically 3 tackles, and then 2 outside backer edge guys. I think it just matches up well with the way the front matches with duos and our double team. We also like to run inside split zone, split duo. We've been running power, but we like to run in between the tackles. So like that to me, I like that off the rip. So and let's see. Josh says the interior trio, Williams, Barmore, and Spillane are the main reason we defend the run so well. Yeah. So, and then, but it looks like Durden is probably your big one tech that comes in 6'4", 305, graded pretty well, 77, 60 run grade, 85 pass grade. And then, yeah. Okay. So, but yeah. And then let me go into Tonga is back. Yes, I saw that. I guess he's a pretty decent guy. So I guess we'll go over to the depth chart here and look at that again. On the defensive side, share this tab instead. We'll go to lineup. That's not going to be the best way to do it. We'll go to NFL premium stats. Richard Gill says, "Yo, ball." Hey, I appreciate that, man. Are you a Texans or a Pats fan? I appreciate a Patriots fan in here too. Like I like to try and not be toxic and just come out talking crap. Like I just love football. Let's see, New England Patriots. Where we go? All right. So Patriots defense, we're looking at just kind of get an idea of who we may have missed that aren't necessarily starters, maybe rotational guys. So Craig Woodson, Carlton Davis, Jalen Hawkins, Christian Gonzalez, Robert Spillane, Marcus Jones, Christian Barmore, Harold Landry, Clavon, Chason, Christian Ellis, Jack Gibbons, linebacker. So I'm not sure, is he someone that's been injured or is he just a rotational piece? If you could let me know in the chat, let me know. Patriots fan. And then let's see, Milton Williams, Corey Durden. He's the nose tackle. Kairos Tonga is a guy that came back. So I know a lot of Patriots fans. Yeah, I'm not using. Is this a Pats fan coming in talking crap? I'm not using PFF grades to say anything, but yeah, man. If you wanna get all pissy, go ahead. Sins friendly Patriots fan. And then let's see. So Kairos Tonga is someone the Pats fans are high on. So it looks like he had an injury and hadn't played since Baltimore, but besides that, he played most of the year. His 4th, 5th, 6th year in the league, was on the Cardinals last year. 6'4", 338. So that's their big nose tackle is, I guess, what's going on there. So Jim says, you're doing fine. Pats fans comfortable here. Yeah. Pats fans flooding in here. That's all good, man. I like it, man. I'll take it. Let's see. Share this tab instead. All right. So Tonga is basically their nose tackle. It sounds to me like Tonga will come in and get more snaps over Durden potentially. He also plays fullback for them, is what Joshua says. And then Jack Gibbons, he says, is a rotational guy. And so we'll go back to Anthony Jennings. Is he a rotational edge, I imagine? And then Jelani Tavai might be another rotational backer, maybe depth, maybe off the team. Kyle Duggar, he's gone or hurt, right? So y'all have had some injuries yourselves. It looks like y'all have kind of adapted. Did y'all say, how y'all basically replaced their production at receiver? Whenever he said Ellis hits like a truck and flies around the field. He says 3 so far, but you can only play who's on the schedule. Got the name. Okay. And then did you talk about receiver as far as who has filled in for them? Oh, he's okay. He said Kyle Williams and then Efton Chisholm have been playing too, with Mac being out. So there's the answer on that. But yeah, so what should we do next? There's a lot of ways we can go with this. This is, a different show. I got a blank canvas here. We can do, if y'all have anything y'all want to look up, as far as like in-depth stats with PFF, as far as, you can do You can look at, I'm not necessarily grades, but stats, time in pocket, all that stuff. Yeah, we'll come back to it. I think NFL Pro's got a lot for us to provide. So let's go to NFL Pro. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to like overall generic stats, um, and kind of see where the Patriots and Texans are and see if it matches up with what I know about us and, about them. I've watched all their games because I watch every game in the NFL, but obviously not in much detail or reviewed it like the Texans. So, and then go into their insights and see if it kind of matches with what we can get from a bird's eye view. So if we go to next gen stats, we'll go to passing season leaders. And we'll go to yards. You got May is number 4 with 4,300, almost 4,400. And then Stroud at 19 with 3,000. Obviously missed 3 games. Touchdowns. May is number 3 with 31. 8 picks would be. Where's the picks at? We'll go back. Let's just finish touchdowns. So May's got 31 touchdowns, number 3 in the league. And then you got, where is CJ? He's down there at number 23 with 19. So, yeah, I mean, what's this stuff we know? Interceptions. Let's see here. Interceptions. Oh, my God. Gino, 17, 2 of 15. That's funny. Where's Drake May at? It should be low because he has low. Yeah, so, I mean, he's not throwing the ball. He's not throwing picks. He got the same amount of Stroud and 3 more games, assuming he played all 16. Yeah, he played 17 games. Yeah. So pretty good touchdown to interception ratio. His rating is up there as well. Number 1 in the league, 113. And then Stroud, number 17, 92.9. And then yards per attempt. Drake May, 8.9, number 1 in the league. And then Stroud, number 14 at 7.2. Completion percentage. You got May at 72%, again, number 1 in the league. And then you got CJ Stroud is at number 20 at 64.5%. Completion over expected. Drake May, number 1, 9.1. CJ Stroud, 17 at plus 0.8. Dropbacks. Okay. EPA, again, can be like an offensive deal, but I think that there is influence from the actual quarterback. Drake May, number 1, plus 151. Stroud, number 12 at 31.5. That boils down to EPA per dropback. Obviously, he's number 1, which would be plus 0.25. Stroud, plus 0.07. Time to throw. This is, you can, obviously it comes with context, but you would have CJ Stroud is at 2.82. And then Drake May is the 7th longest at 2.97. That's probably from him extending the play with his legs. It could be holding onto the ball a little bit. So you can't really just make a proclamation one way or the other. But as far as sacks go, Drake May has the 4th most sacks, 47. And then CJ Stroud is 23rd with 23. So, I think an element of that is the Josh Allen type deal where hold on to the ball, take shots, try and make big plays, but you also get sacked. So you're going to have your chances. In my opinion, that's kind of how it'll be. It's what I thought before looking at this. It's, he can hit a big play, but you can also get a sack. So, and then you saw that he had a couple of fumbles, lost one and recovered another. So just like Stroud did, lost some fumbles. But, you're going to have your chances to get to him. You got 2 rookies on the left side and Jared Wilson and Will Campbell. And I don't know if their center is, super elite either, but you're going to have your chances to get to him. And the key will be getting the ball when you do, because you can fumble the ball. I'd even look up fumbles. I guess it doesn't have it on here, but I guess that'll be an important stat. Let me go to ESPN real quick and see if I can pull that up. NFL stats, and we'll go to complete leaders for passing. I wonder if they'll put fumbles on here. Let's see. They don't got fumbles on there, but you know what? PFF will have fumbles. Let me just type in Drake May real quick. Drake May. Let's see. Drake May. Going to look at premium stats, and we'll go to offense. Come on, show me the fumbles. Passing. Let's see. Passing. Are fumbles on here? Here, let's see. Where are the fumbles at? I got pressure to sack ratio 21.5, scoring. Fumbles will be, I guess it's under rushing then. Rushing, let's see. How many fumbles has he had? Come on. After contact. Whatever. Who cares? They both got to protect the ball. So then quarterback pressure percentage, every site does it differently. This is NFL Pro Next Gen Stats. He's pressured at the sixth highest rate at 38.6%. CJ Stroud is pressured at the 18th highest rate at 32.6%. Yeah, that's pretty good on that end. So we can go to Next Gen Stats, and we can go to team offense. We'll go to yards per game. Patriots number 379. Texans are 18th, 327. And then we'll go to, let's go to EPA per play. Patriots are number 2, plus 0.11. Texans are number 19 at minus 0.05. Again, we talk about schedule, so that definitely is a factor in all this. You probably could go through filters of like, the last 6 games, last 4 games, all that stuff, but I'm not going to do all that. But EPA per pass, let's go to pass yards per game. Patriots number 4, 250. Texas number 14, which is surprising, 218. EPA per pass, Patriots number 1, plus 0.22. Texans number 13, minus 0.01. So, our passing is surprisingly better than most people think. Rush yards per game, Patriots 6, 128. Texans are number 22, 108. I believe the rush offense is trending, but that's where they're at. EPA per rush. And so EPA per rush, Patriots are 11th, minus 0.01. And let's see here. The Texans are 29th, minus 0.1. So, both offenses, whatchamacallit, pretty similar. McDaniels, Kaylee, they want to run the ball. The Patriots are running the ball pretty well. And that's definitely helping Drake May, setting up play action and whatnot. And now I would imagine too, staying in ambiguous downs on third down, not a lot of third and longs. You're able to rush the ball on early downs. And now you kind of open up the playbook. Texans, that's what they want to do. And when they do it, the offense looks good. When they don't, it looks bad. It's nothing new there, but similar philosophies. And let's see, next gen stats. We'll go to, this is what I want to do. Or I guess we'll go to team defense. Let's do next gen stats. Team defense season leaders. It's 11 p.m. I'll go for a little bit longer. Obviously, the Texans, number 1, yards per game, 277.2. And the Patriots are number 8, 295. Let's see, EPA per play. Texans are minus 0.18, number 1. And the Patriots are minus 0.11, which is number 9. Pass yards per game. The Texans are number 6 with 183.5. Patriots, 193.5 is number 9. I guess EPA, see if there's a disconnect there. EPA per pass, Texans minus 2.6. So a lot of those pass yards are kind of, proving you wrong. Patriots number 9, minus 0.14 EPA per pass. Rush yards per game allowed on defense. Texans are number 4, 93.7, and Patriots number 6, 101.7. So both teams want to run the ball. Both teams don't give a lot of yards running the ball. EPA per rush on defense. You got the Texans at number 10. Their rush defenses are still the same, minus 0.07. Patriots minus 0.07. So they're both 10th. Opposing quarterbacks' time to throw is going to be Texans 6, 2.78. So obviously they get it out quick because they know the pass rush is coming. And then for the Patriots, teams 2.86. So teams holding the ball a little bit longer than the average against their defense. Quarterback pressure percentage. Patriots are number 10 with 35.9. And the Texans 18th with 33.9. Again, like at least when it comes to the Texans, misleading because they don't even get the chance to rush the passer. Teams just throw the ball out quick. So I do wonder if Josh McDaniels will try some of that, like we've seen a lot of teams do. Pretty much every team we've played has come out before the game, a lot of quick passing game screens. I wonder if Josh McDaniels will try and implement that to keep Drake May upright. I imagine it's trying to run the ball first and get third and short and run play actions and boots. But if not, they're going to need quick passing game and screens as well. I know they're, just from what I think, more of a deep passing team. So Joshua says we are definitely better overall. You're tripping, dude. You just completely neglect beating up on these poor teams. Like all those stats we went through, you have to remember who you got those stats against. You played the Chargers, and y'all's offense, number one offense in the league, had 16 points at home. So you have to factor in that too. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's go to like the tidbits. Let's get this going. I think after this will be good. Points per game, 23.8, 13th for the Texans, better than we would think. 28.8, second for the Patriots. Point differential, plus 109, 6 for the Texans, plus 170, third for the Patriots. Record in close games, 7-5 for the Texans, 7-3 for the Patriots. Average margin of victory, 11.1 for the Texans, 13.4 for the Patriots. Turnover differential, plus 17 for the Texans, second, plus 3 for the Patriots, 10th. Penalties, 118, which is 24th for the Texans, 98, which is 6 for the Patriots. And then going to passing, Texans offense versus Patriots defense. The Patriots have pretty much every advantage except two, but they're not huge advantages. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are 3-star, 1, 2, 3 or 3-star, 2-star, one's a 1-star. Texans have 2 1-stars, but intermediate is where Texans have an advantage, and then passing versus pressure. But the Patriots got passing versus blitz. We're 18th, they're 4th, so they're going to try and blitz us. That's what they do, and that's what we're not the best at, especially with no Nico. Passing versus no pressure, 17, they're 5. Short passing, I feel like we're good at quick pass. I guess short passing is different than quick passing. That's crazy. They got us at 19th on quick passing. I feel like the quick game is like our biggest bread and butter. But flip side, Patriots passing offense. They got 1, 2, 3, 4 advantages. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 2 4-star, 1 3-star, and then we got a couple 2-stars. So, they, according to these stats, they got pretty even. I guess deep passing, they're number 1. So that's where rush and coverage will have to come into account. We're number 14. Versus blitz, they're number 4. We're number 18. Intermediate passing, they're number 6. We're 13. Passing versus no blitz, they're number 2. We're number 1. Quick passing, they're number 4. We're number 13. Passing versus play action, they're number 8. We're number 2. And so, yeah, we'll go into rushing. Let's see here. Rushing, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my X real quick and probably play a couple clips before I go into the next one to give me a second to catch my breath. But I can play some clips coming up here. All right. Anyhow, all right. Going back over here to rushing. Patriots have advantages, majority of them, all but 2 for their defense versus our offense, and then our defense versus their offense. We have 4. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it shows them having overall advantage, and then even on the flip side, rushing under center, we're not great at it. 31, they're 12. Design runs were 29, they're 10. I will say the running game has gotten much better, and I think a big part of our run game too is just sticking with it. So like a lot of these runs that don't grade out well or whatever stats wise, it's like it doesn't show the whole value. It's we're sticking with the run to not lose yards and to set up other plays. But yeah, let's just go into the insights and see what they got. But I will play a couple videos until then. Here is Jalen Hawkins, a Patriots safety. Let's see, on the Texans secondary or receivers.
They still got good players, man. That can step up. You know what I'm saying? You got 19. We got 81. Rookie, he's nice. 14 is a good receiver, too. You still got Kirk. A lot of good players. So, got to be prepared. They still got good players, man.
And then we got... This was pretty cool. Matt Burke and Jalen Petrie feeling mic'd up.
Yeah, Coach Burke does a good job. He's a very personable person, first off. He's always checking up on you. He's always sliding a couple jokes here and there. He's always keeping the room very light. With that, I think he does a great job at also holding us accountable, making sure that we're on our P's and Q's and making sure that, we're locked in. But he does a good job at balancing the two. I think that's what makes him so special.
You look kind of cool with the vest on.
Hey, man, that's my style, bro. I thought I wore the polo sweater today, too, man.
I saw. Everybody can't do it.
Hey, man. I got scars for days, man. I'm an accessory guy. Watch this.
I like it.
Somebody getting the ball. Somebody over here getting the ball. I don't know who. Somebody getting the ball.
Probably him, and then me. It's just business for you.
Hey, man,
I know how you get.
Hey, man.
It's always just for every clean cut.
All right. I'm good. I caught my breath. All right. And so a lot of insights. This is, man, I got a lot more reading ahead of me. Patriots versus Texans. Patriots have won 28 playoff games and appeared in 12 conference championship games since 2002. Both most in the NFL over that span. Texans are the only active franchise to never appear in the cup. Okay. All right. We know that. Patriots versus Texans. Patriots have won 8 consecutive games in the divisional round of the playoffs. These are all things that have no bearing on this current iteration, like I talked about in the beginning of the show. Anyway, they've won 8 divisional playoff games, longest streak. Hey, it's been, all these streaks and stuff. It's been a season of them ending. On the flip side, Texans have lost all 6 of theirs. So, 2 streaks got to end right there. Patriots are 24-5 all time at home in the playoffs, which is second best. And then Texans are 1-6. So again, trends and streaks. Stroud is the 5th quarterback all time to reach the divisional round of the playoffs in each of their first 3 seasons. Each of the other 4, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, Bernie Kosar, and Hall of Fame Dan Marino, made at least 1 conference championship appearance in that span. Stroud and the Texans have yet to reach the AFC championship game. So that's pretty cool. Drake May will face the Texans' top-ranked total defense, allowing just 277 yards per game. Only 4 starting QBs under center of the age of 25 have beaten the number 1 total defense in a playoff game in the last 40 seasons. C.J. Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Tim Tebow, and Tom Brady. Texans have won 16 consecutive games, including the playoffs, when they score at least 20 points in a game. That's crazy. They are 12-0 in such games in 2025, including the playoffs, and every other team has at least 1 loss. So score 20 and we're good. Christian Kirk has had a receiving touchdown in each of his last 3 playoffs games played. Ooh. The longest active streak in the NFL, and only Travis Kelce's 6 straight games, and Cooper Kupp has had longer streaks in the playoffs over the last 10 seasons. That's crazy. That's a fun fact. Mike Vrabel and DeMeco Ryans will be the 4th pair of head coaches to meet in the playoffs that both made the Pro Bowl as players in the same season. That's crazy. It'll be the first matchup since Super Bowl XX between the Bears coach Hall of Fame Mike Ditka and Patriots Hall of Fame Raymond Berry. Ditka and Berry made the Pro Bowl together. Stephon Diggs was held to just 16 receiving yards on 2 catches in the wild card round. Diggs hasn't had a 100-yard game in the playoffs since 2002. He had 5 100-yard games in the regular season, which were tied for 5th most in the NFL. Patriots offense, despite aligning in the shotgun at the 9th lowest rate this season, 53%, the Patriots gained the most yards per play, 7.1, earned the highest success rate, 50.6, and generated the highest explosive rate, 18.7 from shotgun. Than any other offense this season from under center. Patriots gained 5.5 yards per play, 8th most, so they don't run shotgun a lot, but still good at it, but also good under center. Obviously, they're a good offense overall. Patriots utilized 22 personnel on a season high of 35.9% of their offensive snaps in the wild card game against the Chargers, highest rate of any game this season. So 2 running back, 2 tight end. That's like they're, a little bit heavier. They ran the ball in 73%. So they're doing, and they averaged only 3 yards per carry and got just 2 first downs. So it's kind of like the Texans. Like, we're just going to we run jumbo. We're going to get up there and get bodies. I imagine their running back was their fullback, their second running back. And that's I feel like both offenses are just going to try and grind it out, dude. Two defensive head coaches, you know. Prior to week 11, the Patriots had deployed jumbo personnel, 6+ linemen, just 5 total times. And then in their last 7 regular season games, Patriots used it on 17.4% of their snaps, 14th highest. Substituting Thayer Munford Jr. as the 6th offensive lineman, the Patriots used jumbo personnel on 14 or more plays in each of their last 3 regular season games, but just 4 times in their playoff bout. However, with the jumbo on the field, Booty caught a 42-yard reception in the third quarter, and Henry scored on a 28-yard pass. So, I mean, the Texans are the same way. They run jumbo to run the ball, and then you set up a play action pass, and it's to max protect. You get you run a 2-man route concept. So, I mean, they're doing the same stuff. Kaylee and McDaniels. Patriots offense put 17 unique personnel groups on the field during the regular season, tied for 3rd most. And then Patriots had their most success out of 11 personnel this season, averaging 7 yards per play and a 50% success rate, both highest in the league. The other team used 11 personnel at the 9th lowest rate. Texans offense versus Patriots defense. Texans used jumbo package personnel on 18.2% of offensive snaps this season, the 2nd highest, and an outsized margin from their 1.1% usage the previous 2 seasons combined. Hello, Nick Cayley. Texans averaged 3.2 yards per carry out of the jumbo, the 4th fewest among 19 teams with 20+ jumbo carries. However, in their wild card game against the Steelers, the Texans used jumbo on 30%. Cayley literally said, "We ran smash mouth football," and I love it, dude. Do that shit again. And let's see, and they averaged 6.3 yards per carry, the 2nd most in a game this season. This season, the Patriots defense has allowed just 1.7 yards per carry against jumbo personnel, 3rd fewest in the league. So we'll see what happens there, but I like what we did, man. We put like Trent Brown over there, obviously, as your right tackle, and then you put Blake Fisher next to him and Cade Stover, and then I think we even had Dalton Schultz. I think we had like 4 guys right there. I like it, dude. Kalen Bullock allowed 44.7% completion percentage and coverage in the regular season, lowest among safeties and 4th lowest of any player targeted at least 40 times among the same group. Okay, Petrie allowed a 58.9% passer rating when targeted in the regular season, the lowest among slot corners, at least 25 targets. So, you know, the lowest for safeties, lowest for a nickel. You know, Jalen Petrie, all-pro snub. He totaled 4 interceptions along with 12 passes defense. In the wild card round, Petrie recorded 4 run stuffs for a loss or no gain, the most by any defensive back in a game this season, and tied for the 2nd most in the game over the last decade. Freaking dog, dude. I love Petrie. I try to tell y'all, man. Kamari, Lassiter, while the Texans typically oriented their cornerbacks to the left and right this season, Kamari is much more effective when aligned to the field side. He allowed a 42.4% completion percentage as the field side corner, 3rd lowest. And he had 3 of his 4 picks there. Stingley did not allow more than 45 yards in coverage in any game during the Texans' 9-game winning streak, including 3 games where he allowed 0 yards. During that span, Stingley was targeted just 8.7% of his coverage snaps and allowed 0.4 yards per coverage snap, both 3rd lowest among outside corners with 100 snaps. Stingley did not allow a reception in the wild card game either, facing 2 targets across 37 coverage snaps. Let's see here. Let me see where I'm at as far as Stingley May. Ooh, we got some ways to go. I should have vetted all these, man. Or if y'all like it, I don't know if this is good for y'all. You know, I do have this on a podcast if you want to re-listen, obviously on YouTube, but I upload it to Apple and Spotify if you just want to like listen to it throughout the day. You know, Texans or Patriots fans, you just want to hear all the tidbits if you're just an audio kind of person. But gonna give myself another voice rest and start playing some videos for a second. But yeah, the ESPN NFL Live, man. Ooh, BLESSAN or Stressan, all 5. Mina, Clark, Hannah, who's from Houston, Dan, Marcus, all picked the Texans. That's crazy. I know on NFL Network, I think they all picked the Patriots. So it's going to be a good game, man. It's pretty much right down the middle. But here's Will the other day talking about the game.
After practice, I was like,
being in the second round is not good enough for this organization no more. Like when we were down, it's like, how we in the second? Now it's about getting over that hump. But I think this week the preparation
Shit, my
has
headphone
been
died.
great. Everybody's been locked in. Everybody knows the focus and the mission that we're trying to accomplish. So we've had a great week of practice, man, and I can't wait to get to Sunday.
Good morning, talk.
After practice, I was like, being in the second round is not good enough for this organization no more. Like when we were down, it's like, how we in the second? Now it's about getting over that hump. But I think this week the preparation has been great. Everybody's been locked in. Everybody knows the focus and the mission that we're trying to accomplish. So we've had a great week of practice, man, and I can't wait to get to Sunday.
Good morning, talk.
Yeah, so he talks about just
like,
sorry. He talks about
obviously
obviously the importance, getting past that game. Let's see here. Christian Kirkite interview with Rich Eisen, and he's not a great interview because he's kind of just so chill. Jalen Petrie mic'd up, dude.
Ref! Back him up! He's scared as hell!
Got Johnny
Let's
with the
go!
jump off sides, a false start.
Let's go, baby. Here we go. Watch this.
Rodgers receiver screen, quick throw. Petrie has Austin.
Come on, man! I told you I'm like that! I told you that boy! I'm that boy! Okay, boy. I told you! I know this one. I know this one.
Here's a heavy rush up the middle, and here's a throw to the 15-yard line. It's brought down by Petrie is the receiver, Austin.
Hey, here we go. Here we go.
It's Gainwell. They hand off to him. Starts right, cuts left, and Petrie comes over to bury him. He's under pressure by Daniil. Rodgers escapes to his right, and he throws it, and it's almost intercepted.
Oh, my God. Come on, Aaron.
This dude's a psycho,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Gainwell gets the toss, and Petrie has a TFL.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm like that.
Rodgers takes the snap, pocket collapsing, airs it out to Gainwell, who's chopped down back at the 25-yard line.
Hey, boy, you like that? You like that? You like that, boy? You know that. Let's go.
Petrie's a hype man. Here's Aziz talking about Stephon Diggs.
But he's always saying something. So I don't know how it's gonna be or whatever. I respect the game. I know how it is. And, I know that's the type of play it is. Like, I'll never forget playing Buffalo. And, we're going into halftime. I had just dropped back-to-back plays, dropped interceptions. And he looking at me, this man, no helmet, just headbutt. I'm like, I need that. He gets to a different play, and I'm the same way. So, I definitely I know the type of energy he's gonna bring. As former, he's always
Diggs got that energy, man. This was a good answer via Aaron Wilson's video. Kamari on the defense, what he likes to see.
On defense, I like seeing sacks. I like to see Henry and Z's get TFLs and then they get the crashing out. I love when Petrie shoot the gap. I like when Petrie get picks. I like when CD get picks. I like when Steen makes a tackle because he gets smiling. I like when Steen get picks. I like when I make the play. I like when I get picks. I like everything.
Along those lines.
On defense.
Same. What else we got? A couple more of these to give me a break, and I'll dive back into the NFL Pro stuff. D'Amico and the chain game guy. This is awesome.
Good luck rest of the way, Coach.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. How long you been doing this?
It's not polite to ask.
I'm sorry.
1975.
1970. What's your name?
Tom Fitzgerald.
Tom, man. That's awesome. Appreciate the service, man, doing this. That's awesome. Hopefully you're still having fun with it.
Yeah.
Great job, man.
Good guy, D'Amico, dude. Awesome guy. Let's see what else we got. D'Amico talking about the short rests, coming off Monday night.
Where we got the 40-minute bus ride to the stadium, right? It's like, yeah, this is the one. So been there, done it, everybody. All the guys who were here last year, we went through the same thing with the travel. We're ready for it. And I tell the guys this, man. It doesn't matter. Like, people want to talk about a short week. Oh, you guys had the Monday night and it's not fair. If I you can always go back. It's like, man, if I told you at training camp, hey, we were going to have to play a Monday night playoff game, you would win. And then you got a short week to go play New England. You want me to sign you up for that?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready to go. So, man,
Yes.
we're ready for the moment. Whatever it takes
His
to
little voices are
travel.
hilarious.
It can get a little weird. The weather, it doesn't matter. Like, sign me up for playing football in this time of year.
Sure.
We're still in it. One of the final 4 teams in the AFC. Our guys have worked extremely hard for this moment. We just got to go out and execute again and play good football. We
That's
got
awesome. And then this is via Mark Vandermeer and John Harris on the Texans YouTube. And then, yeah, like, watching the games over the weekend, I was like, man, we need to take the points. And then here's the Miko on Monday.
Pre-game
on Tuesday.
session, going through it. And so there was no doubt in my mind, like, hey, we get in range. Let's go, Amy. Let's put it through. I mean, you can – do we go for it, be aggressive? I saw a lot of teams over the course of the weekend being ultra aggressive. And for me, I was just saying as I was watching those games, like, man, let's take if we get in striking distance and the third down doesn't go well, let's just take the points and let's just keep playing. Let's see what happens, but didn't want to come out being aggressive too early. Right. And Amy has done a great job all year. We had one of the best kickers in the league. And it's a guy that we can rely on, so we're going to use him.
Coach,
he gets flack for playing like this all year, but like the way he plays is the way we need in the playoffs. And then him watching the games and seeing that just like the rest of us, like, it's awesome, dude. Like, yes, this guy gets it, dude. I love it. We'll get a couple more clips and we'll get back over to those stats. So, so AFC offenses in the wild card round: Texans first in yards, first in first downs, first in third down efficiency, first in rushing yards, second in passing yards. That's from Jason Braddock. So people are calling the worst playoff game ever by Stroud. Hell no, it wasn't, dude. Like, that's just lazy analysis. And let's see here. This was Kamari on who would win in the Oklahoma drill on Good Morning Football between Mike Vrabel and D'Amico Ryans.
Go. How's that thing ending?
And they put a freaking Eagles jersey up there.
He's a savage.
He's a savage.
That's it.
Tell me more about Miko the Savage. What do you mean?
I say one thing about Miko. He comes with energy every day. Like, he comes with the same energy every day. I saw a mic'd up of him like the other day, and just of him just watching us play and how much energy he has on the sideline, because we're on the field, we can't really tell, but like just hearing him talk and like how energetic he is, I'm like, dang, that's the same way he is whenever he's in the meeting room, telling us that we need to get our stuff together. Whenever he holds us to a really high standard, on all levels, offense and defense, and he holds us up to that same standard, and that's something that we can all get behind.
Kamari, little
go.
This was dope. I guess we'll pass that. Let's see what else is good. What else can we do? Scrolling down, seeing what's good. Do a couple more. This was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Woody Marks, he's got a lot of pause-worthy moments, but here's
all right. Woody, we know this is a team game.
This is via Nard Knows TV, Nard_Knows TV on Instagram.
And you went over 100 yards, touchdown. What does it mean for you and your offensive line to create such a spark in the last week's game?
I say it means a lot to them. Just going out there and dominating the run game. What some guys want to do. They want to get physical, put some guys off the line, and just run the ball. And then they never get really credit for it all. But all credits to them, no credits to me. Guys just did their job.
What did you see on that touchdown? How did that hole open up for you? Because it looked like you read it really well, had patience.
To be honest, I run the score, but I seen two guys close it in. And I kind of just slid it between them. Pause.
They're not going to let you go for that one.
I kind of
slid in between them. That's crazy.
Broke the tackle in between them and just ended up in the end zone.
And what are you seeing in film in preparation for the Patriots?
It's a great team, great defense. They fly to the ball. They got great linebackers, great interior. It's just going to be a physical game. It's going to be a great game.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, Woody's hilarious, man. But yeah, I mean, he's also selfless too. All credit to, the O-line. Here's some more from the Jalen Petrie mic'd up. It's Aaron Rodgers interactions.
Rodgers gonna say, "You learned how to tackle this year." Okay, good job, good joke.
First 44, here's Rodgers in the pocket. Pocket collapsing. He's sacked. Daniil, the ball is out. The Stairs recovered.
Hey, boy, you him. You him. You all right? You good? Yeah, he's very good. Oh! Let's go, baby. Keep doing your thing, boy. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Roger's gonna say.
And then this was before the pick six. Jalen Petrie.
Will, why not another one? When you catch this pick, you gonna kneel or you gonna run? I'm running. I'm going down. I'm not. I'm going down. Steve caught. I'm going down. Hold on, 3. You catch a pick, you going down or you running? Down. Okay. We 3 for 4. I'm running. Okay. Hey, let's finish.
Rodgers in the pocket. Rodgers swinging it downfield and
Ball!
picked off at the 50.
Go, go, go,
Bullock
go, go, go.
to his left, 40, 35, 30. Bullock, 20. Bullock upended at the sideline, maintains his balance and runs for pay dirt.
You that boy.
You that boy. You that boy. You said it. You said it. You said it. You like that? Bro, thank God. We said we was gonna thank God. You the one. You the one. You the one. He just said he was gonna do it.
Just said that.
Dude, how can you not love this?
Oh my God. Bye. He that boy.
He that boy.
CB. It's on. They heard you. He said he was gonna run it back. You that boy. You that boy. You that boy. I'm like that. I'm like that.
They're having a blast out there. We'll get back to the insights over here. Let's see. We stopped on. Where did we stop? Let me scroll up. I got to Bullock, Derek Stingley, May. Stingley was targeted on just 8.5% of his snaps in zone coverage this season, 6th lowest rate among 150 snaps in zone. He allowed 37.9% completion percentage when targeted in zone, lowest mark by any defender since 2018. That's crazy. Drake May finished with the league high 74.9% completion percentage when facing zone. So he did well against zone, and the wild card against the Chargers. May completed 16 of 22 with a touchdown and interception. Stingley is great in zone. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Texans defense, Drake May. During the Texans' 9-game win streak to close the season, they increased their man coverage usage to 31.8%, 10th highest after using man on 17.4% of their dropbacks. To me, again, that comes down to playing Allen, which maybe was earlier, but Mahomes, Herbert, like it came down to game plan. From weeks 10 through 18, they allowed 4.4 yards per play, and man, 5th fewest compared to 6.7 yards per play, 7th most weeks 1 through 9. However, in the wild card game, the Texans utilized man coverage on 18.4% of dropbacks. So they cut it down because of Rodgers, allowing minus 0.7 yards per play, and Rodgers was 1 of 6 on those. And Drake May's wild card performance, he also struggled against man coverage, completing just 1 of 7 pass attempts for 7 yards. So, I mean, my initial instinct of, hey, running man cover 1 with the robber spy, like it seems like it should be the recipe. Tommy Togiai led the Texans with 38 run stops that forced unsuccessful plays this season, 10th most among defensive tackles. He recorded a run stop on 18.4% of these run defensive snaps, highest rate in the NFL. So, I mean, let's see. Wild card round, Togiai finished tied with the team high 5 run tackles, including 1 run stuff for a loss. In that game, the Steelers averaged 4.8 yards per rush with Togiai off the field compared to 3.1 yards on the field. So he's a massive run stopper. Will and Daniil combined for 153 pressures. Let's see what they said. Okay, they earned 52.4% of the Texans, 292 total snaps, and then no other duo this season produced more than Anderson had 8, Hunter had 7, combined for 15 pressures out of the Texans' 25 against the Steelers. Anderson versus Drake May. Anderson has generated 48 pressures on 3rd downs this season, most by any player in the last 8 seasons, equating to a league-high 27.7% pressure rate. That's crazy. 3rd down machine. So that's part of like the rotating defensive lineman. You keep him fresh for the money down, 3rd down, and he is very efficient, historically efficient. In the wild card round against the Steelers, Anderson generated 3 pressures and 0.5 sacks across his 3rd down pass rushes. Drake May was pressured on 4 of his 7 3rd down dropbacks against the Chargers, 3rd highest pressure rate faced on 3rd down all season. So Face a better defense. You're probably going to see more of it again. Will Campbell versus Will Anderson Jr. Left tackle Will Campbell allowed pressure on 11.5% of his pass blocking snaps during the regular season, the 8th highest rate among left tackles. So, like, all this talk about Will Campbell, his PFF grade wasn't the best. Right now it's just a name. He's a rookie. Like, Ursary is playing better than him in that regard. In his return from injury, Campbell surrendered a team-high 6 pressures on 40 pass blocks in the Patriots wild card game. 6 pressures on – dude, come on, dude. Will and Daniil, come on, dude. During the regular season, Will Anderson Jr. aligned on the left edge on 76.5% of his snaps. But in the wild card round, he shifted to the right edge on 76.9, creating more frequent matchups against the left tackle in that game. So Will's getting to pick. And Will generated team-high 8 pressures. So it's playoff Will. He got to do it. He went off. He's probably going to match up against Campbell, who's the better matchup, and go to work, dude. Come on. Micah Onwenu, Morgan Moses, the tackle and guard. Returning right guard full-time this season, Mike, I'm not even going to say his name again, Onwenu, I'm messing it up, allowed a 4.6% pressure rate, 3rd lowest. And so he's pretty solid at right guard. He joined the Patriots offseason, his 8th straight season playing 400 pass blocking snaps at right tackle. He allowed 2nd lowest pressure rate of his career, 7.9. So the right side's pretty solid, 5th lowest rate between the right guard, right tackle. Hunter Henry versus the Texans defense. Henry gained 3rd most receiving yards among tight ends on play action passes this season, 333. So he's a big and then it says adding another one in the wild. He had 5 touchdowns. He had one in the wild card game off play action. Henry's 157.6 passer rating on play action targets ranks the 2nd most. So he's a big play action threat for him. Play action to Hunter Henry. That's probably because he blocks a lot. Keyshawn Butte and Stephon Diggs. Booty or Butte earned the most yards per target, 12, and highest passer rating when targeted among wide receivers this season. 71.7% targets came 10+ air yards downfield. So he's kind of like their vertical threat where May throws a great deep ball. 2nd highest with, May likes to throw it deep. We saw the numbers earlier too. More on Diggs. He averaged a career low 8.5 air yards per target this season, with 32.4% of his targets coming at depth of 10+ air yards, his lowest rate since 2018. However, he caught a higher percentage of passes thrown his way than any other receiver this season, 5% higher. Due to his catch rate, Diggs averaged 9.9 yards per target, the most since. I just read a lot of that. It's getting late, and that's kind of giving me a headache on that one. Again, I should have vetted these and got the good ones, but hey, hopefully Brandon says, told y'all Diggs went to New England for booty. That's crazy. Let's see what else we got. Patriots offense since week 8, Ramondre Stevenson and Travion led the leagues in yards per carry and rushes between the tackles. So they've been running between the tackles and doing good at 6.4 and 6 yards. Okay, cool. Henderson average speed of 12.5 on his rush attempts in the regular season, good for 7th fastest. That indicates good blocking. Drake May completed a league high 72% of his passes, despite averaging 9.1 air yards per attempt during the regular season, the 4th most in the league. He was just the 2nd player in the next gen stats era. Now I'm just getting into a lot of whatever. Cool. Drake May generated 706 total yards when scrambling during the regular season, run plus. All right, here we go. So he scrambles a lot, 423 rush yards. In the wild card game, it's Chargers. May scrambled for 60, 3rd most in his career, but did not throw for a single yard when scrambling. So that's huge. I mean, you'll take him getting 60 yards rushing and none scrambling. That's a big part of his game, is scrambling and passing when running. Patriots, 56% of plays called passes on plays when holding a lead. So, I mean, Vrabel is kind of old school defensive minded coach, but he's kind of aggressive. They pass a lot when up, which would not be smart if that were to happen in the playoffs, in my opinion. Drake May led. Let's see. The Patriots' affinity for throwing at the lead continued in the wild card round as their called pass rate when ahead was 60%. So a lot of people like that. I wouldn't like that. May completed 11 of 14. So hopefully they're not in the lead to have that situation. May was pressured on 38.6% of his dropbacks, 6th highest rate. He completed 61.5% of his passes under pressure, 2nd highest. Let's see. And if there's a wild card, that trend carried into the wild card round when the Texans pressured Aaron Rodgers on 45% of his dropback. Or it says, when generating pressure in the regular season, the Texans allowed just 39.5%. So May gets good completion when pressured. Texans defense allows low. The trend continued for the Texans in the playoffs on Rodgers. He was only 45%. Only had 5 of 13 for 47 yards. Christian Gonzalez, when he is on the field, the Patriots defense is allowed 1.4 fewer yards per dropback. When Gonzalez is in the lineup, the Patriots held offenses to minus 107.8 EPA while allowing plus 0.06 without him playing. So yeah, he's a big part of their defense. Jalen Hawkins was targeted on 3.8% of his snaps in zone coverage, 5th lowest mark, and allowed 7 receptions for 62 yards on 16 targets. So, and 4 interceptions. So he's a good zone coverage free safety. And yep, Robert Spillane allowed 3.7 yards per called run with him on the field. So he's a good run stopper. Christian Ellis tackled the ball carry on 15% of the snaps, 9th highest. So he's a tackling machine. Patriots defense missed just 11% of their tackles during the regular season, but converted a league low 58% of opportunities behind the line of scrimmage. So they tackle well, but not necessarily behind the line of scrimmage. Despite the high rate of missed tackles, the Patriots allowed just 4.3 yards per missed tackle when contacting the ball carrier. So like the Texans, like you kind of swarm, and if you don't get there, someone else is there. Deploying base personnel on 25.7% of their defensive snaps, 12th lowest. The Patriots allowed just 3.2 yards per rush. So they're not in base all the time. However, opposing run games generated 42.2% success rate against a Patriots base personnel. So that's like I said, in the 3-4, if we get them in that, we can run the ball against them. Let's see if I'm almost done. Oh my God, there's so many of these. This is insane. Man, I don't even know which ones to look at. I want to try and here, you know what? I'll play a video and I'll read through while I play a video and try to find a good one. Here is Petrie on the mic'd up for the scoop and score for Sheldon Rankin.
Pocket collapsing. Rodgers is going to go down, and the ball is out. Who's got it? Rankins picks it up. He's on the move. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Sheldon Rankins.
Get busy. Get busy, boy. Let's go.
What team?
You that boy? You that boy? That's game. That's game. That's game. You that boy? Good call, baby. Good call. Hey, how y'all make it look so easy though? They them boys.
Well, wait till y'all see the rush.
It was nasty.
I think so.
Shit was nasty.
All I see was a scoop and score. I say escort.
And then here's Petrie to Miles Bryant talking about Batman for the game. Steelers game. Pretty funny.
During the national anthem, what you was thinking about?
At the 6, Stroud takes the snap, takes the toss behind him, throws right side. Christian Kirk to the end zone. Touchdown.
I tell you what I was thinking about. Hey, Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. When they were singing the red. I say, where Bane at? You know what I'm talking about? I say, oh, we good.
The whole field collapsed.
I say, what is gonna happen? Oh, this is what he said. What a beautiful voice. Then I say, boop. Phil gone.
That's the best.
Legendary. I don't know. You think it's better? You think it's better than the one with the Joker? They ain't go crazy though. It's the voice.
were fighting down there.
That hit the wall.
I was born in it.
Molded by it.
Molded by it.
I said, oh, this is
I
tough.
didn't see the dead lights. I was a man.
When he was fighting Batman at the end too, he was hitting them both, and then he hit the that rock like he was in a combo. He bombed.
Hurry up, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a couple on here and then kind of go back. So yeah, I talked about May and Stingley, how May had success basically against Stingley last year, throwing it deep, and then this year Stingley's been like, not allowing anything deep. And then it talks about Stroud versus Man, 67% in the red zone. Nah, that one's whatever. I'm kind of tripping right now. I'm getting tired. Let's see here. What was another one I saw? So May against the blitz did well, 6 of 9, 122. So that tells me like we don't need a blitz. Run cover 1 and then run simulated pressures, faking the blitz if you do on third down. And then I saw another one that I thought was good. You know what? I don't know, man. There's just too much on here. My brain's fried. It's late. I'll probably go through these on my phone and post or tweet them if they're any good. I'll go back and just do a couple more videos to send you guys off. I know there's a good Casario one that you guys could enjoy with his scouting report if I can get to it on my timeline. Let's see if I can get to it here. It's probably, right here. This will be a good one. It's a 4-minute one. Here you go.
Coach, well, if it's a coordinator, tell us about the New England Patriots.
Yeah, look, it's a hard place to play in January, so they make it tough on the opponent, but they've done a great job. I mean, this will be the best team that we've played so far this season. Everything starts with Mr. Kraft and Jonathan and ownership, and then Mike has come in. Mike's been one of the best coaches in this league, and he's kind of put his stamp and imprint on the team, and they've had to deal with some things with T. Will and the defensive coordinator being out, but I mean, Mike, he has a certain mindset. He's probably as physically, mentally tough as a player was when he played. And you see that imprint on their team. Offensively, I mean, Josh has come in and done a phenomenal job. I mean, Josh is one of the best coordinators in the league. And then Zach Kerr has done a pretty good job working with Mike on the defensive side of the ball. It's kind of interesting. Look at his background. He was an offensive coach. So we've talked about different coaches and kind of working on the other side of the ball. And he's transitioned to the defensive side of the ball. And then Coach Springer in a kicking game, it's his second year, but I mean, their special teams are as good as any in the league. So, and offensively, I mean, everything kind of starts with Drake. I mean, Drake's playing at an MVP level. He's probably going to be in the conversation. The biggest thing with him is his accuracy, not only short and medium, but down the field. He's as accurate in the deep throws as any quarterback. As athletic, different, but kind of like Josh Allen a little bit, can keep plays alive with his legs. He was a leading rusher the other night, I think, against the Chargers. So, I mean, pass rush will be important, but he's as much a factor with his legs as he is, throwing a football. 2 really, really good backs. I mean, Henderson is explosive, as fast as hell. If there's space, he's gone. So we have to get multiple hats to the ball. And then Stevenson has kind of been in and out, had some injuries, but he's as versatile running back as there is in the league. He's really a true 3-down back. He can carry the ball, he can pass protect, and he's good in the passing game as well. So 2 really good backs, 2 really good tight ends.
Yeah, so this interview was on Tuesday morning, and John Harris, who asked the question before, normally they ask this Monday or Tuesday when they have time to scout. And he's like, I don't know if you want to do the scouting report. He's like, no, I haven't, no, I just know from knowing. This is just off the rip, dude.
I mean, Hunter Henry has been as consistent a player at that position, very instinctive, smart, good hands. Hooper's a good complement. So they got a good group, tight ends, running backs, and receiver. I mean, Steph is their leading receiver this year. So got really good contributions from him. Booty gives him a lot of plays, not a few, but a lot of plays down the field, vertical threat. And then they kind of mix in Pop Douglas and, some of the other folks as well. So really good skill group. They kind of use all of them. Josh does a really good job of mixing the personnel. On the offensive line, the left side's 2 rookies. I mean, Will Campbell, they drafted 4th overall. Jared Wilson, who kind of played centers, kind of kicked over to guard. Bradbury, they signed a free agency. Onwenu is really the one player that's held over, and then Morgan Moses. So, I mean, they're a top 5 offense, top 3 offense in the league. They've been very explosive, very productive, and tackling is going to be important, going back to kind of what you mentioned there before, Mark. And then defensively, they do a really good job with their scheme. They make it hard on the offense. They signed Milton in free agency, gave him a lot of money, and he's produced. Him and Barmore inside, and then, signed Landry, who was with Coach Vrabel in Tennessee. Caleb Jason has kind of been a little bit of a reclamation project there, and he's had a really good season. And an inside linebacker, I would say, is probably one of the strengths of their defense. They're 3-4 deep. I mean, they got Gibbons, they got Ellis, Spillane is their leading tackler. They're tough, they're instinctive, they're around the ball. Mapu gives them some plays in the kicking game. And at safety, they got the 2 Cal Bears, drafted Woodson in the 4th round, who's among their leading tacklers, and Hawkins. I mean, they're very similar. They're both 6 foot, 200 pounds, run well, instinctive. And then they got one of the best corners of the league in Gonzalez, and probably one of the best slot corners of the league in Marcus Jones. And then they sign, in free agency, they signed Davis, who gives them really good play in a perimeter as well. So, I mean, this is a formidable defense. And the kicking game, arguably one of the best returners potentially in the history of football from an average standpoint, Marcus Jones. I mean, he's a big play waiting to happen. Houston grad, Houston product. So the fans around here know him. And then 2 rookie specialists, rookie long snapper, rookie place kicker, and then Berger's in his 2nd year. So this is a very well-balanced team, top 10 offensively and defensively, put stress on you in a kicking game. So, I mean, this is a big challenge. And, hopefully we go through the week. We're going to have to prepare and go up there to play our best football game against a really good team.
Is this the...
All right. Let's see. I do off-season streams. I do it once a week. I want to start doing it more, but I'm football 24/7, bro. Oh shit. Let's see here. I found a couple more here before we go that are relevant. Kind of help formulate some last ideas. I mean, there's some stuff about Barmore and Milton Williams having really high pressure rate, like one of the best pressure rate from interior in the league. So that's going to be tough, the pass rush, but I think we can run the ball in the interior, which was going to be a huge key for us. But then it talks about the Patriots blitz on 27.6% of opposing dropbacks, 14th lowest during the regular season. However, from their week 14 bye through the wild card round, the Patriots have nearly doubled their blitz rate to 41.5% compared to 24.4% the first 13 weeks, and generated 48% pressure on the blitzes in the regular season, 5th highest, and then not a lot of pressure when not blitzing. So they've been blitzing more. And I know, like, we get all freaked out, but like the games without Nico was San Francisco and Denver, right? Or for sure it was San Francisco. I know, and they blitzed the crap out of us, and we did good. Like, when the receivers are all there and you got the hots and spread it out, like, so it can be a good, effective, quick passing game if they try and blitz us, which they may try and do. They've seen, I'm sure they've seen on tape, some issues with that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. But then, it talks about a lot of zone, 70%, and then they did the same thing. So a lot of this, these blitzes are coming out of zone looks as well. I think there was, it talks about Titus. He projects the matchup against the interior, and Titus did well at left guard last week as far as pressure rate goes. I think that was pretty much most of the good stuff. But man, that was fun. That was a good little bonus episode. And I appreciate all you guys, even, Sins Friendly, the Chargers fan or the Patriots fan who is very confident and very cocky. Surely that won't backfire for him, coming in here and beating his chest. But should be a good game. It's a game that I think the Texans can and should win. Very similar teams, good defense. Obviously, Patriots really good offense, but I do think a lot of those stats are, puffed up by the schedule. That's not me being a hater or trying to like talk crap. That's just what I believe, but that's not to say that they aren't good. I'm just saying, like, the stats are, that's definitely a reflection of that. But I think, the experience helps the Texans. Drake May going against a really good defense. I think, we'll run a lot of cover one and mix in some exotics with some, simulated pressures or maybe some, unique pressures. Weather, snow, like, to me, I think we're built for that. Like, D'Amico has been building this boring team where we run the ball, play defense, physical team. Like, the O-line is actually getting physical. I mean, you look at ever since you moved Titus to left guard, now your left guard's legit, and he's a big MFer. Ursery's a big MFer. Andrews, he's not, but he's, decent. Ingram is a mauler in the run game, not the best in the pass game, so that'll be something to watch there, him and pass blocking. but Trent Brown is just a monster out there. So, you know, it'll be a fun game. I could see it going like every Texans game where it's, you know, a low scoring, you know, field position battle. But yeah, and so that'll be the key is get some turnovers. You're going to get your chances to get to May. You need to get some strip sacks, maybe force some picks. But I'm just trying to think of like, you know, some key performances I could see happening. I think Petrie have another big game. But no, I'm not worried about the snow. I think it helps the Texans overall, honestly. And yeah, that's all I got, fellas. I appreciate you guys. As always, follow me everywhere. Check out the website, HoustonStressans.com. And yeah, well, I'll see y'all online and try and post some more content to get us through to kickoff to Sunday at 2. And until next time, we blessing.